All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will is edifying to the Lord's elect. Make sure hopefully it's not too blurry. Camera be getting a little blurry, man, every now and again. Yep. Phone at? Where's my phone at? Let's see what's in the news real quick. Start this off. U.S. authorized second deadly Venezuela boat strike, White House says. I was watching that. Your Secretary of Defense. You know, the one that he be leaking phone calls to people he ain't supposed to be leaking phone calls to. Well, he authorized to kill some people that he struck a boat, and then there was some survivors, and he went and destroyed them too. So now he's in the news about that, saying how he's how that was breaking the Geneva Code. And I mean, what do you expect, man? This dude don't follow his own laws, and he damn sure don't follow the laws of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Okay, so you gotta expect these types of things to happen, man. You gotta expect that to happen. You know, that's kind of like what happened with us. We stopped following our own laws, and that's why we got destroyed. See, laws are put in place so that you have some type of order. That's what the law's for, is for some type of order. See, he don't even with his own law, he don't uphold the laws of the Lord, and he don't uphold his own common law. All right. So the nation of Israel is a great example of not following your laws and where that leads you to. Ultimately, it leads you to destruction. It leads you to having your enemies win over you. And that's our laws. The law, statutes, and commandments were given to the nation of Israel. So our laws, we didn't apply them. We wanted to be like everybody else, and that's what caused us to be in the position that we're in. So what kind of position do you think Esau Edom is going to be in the near future if he's not even following his own laws? He's going to be down bad. And that's what the scriptures that's what that's talking about. But let's start here in the book of Psalms. Let's start in the book of Psalms. So these laws are supposed to protect you. You know, the Geneva Code, you stop breaking the Geneva Code, then that means other people are going to break the Geneva Code. So, for example, if you're in a war and a lot of your military got slaughtered, you want to bring some aid in there so you can try to save the survivors, they're going to put you to death now because you didn't show any mercy to the people you go to war with. So now when they have war with you, they're going to do the same thing to you. When you want to go help one of your down men, they're down, you know, they might have got airstruck, but you know, in war, there's this little bit of dignity in there, man. You know, you're like, all right, well, I'm not gonna do that to the survivors, man. They're defenseless. I'm gonna actually let them live. They clinging on to the boat that just got destroyed. They're probably already gonna die. But nope. I'm gonna authorize, kill them two over there that's swimming in the lake of sharks. That's no mercy, man. Let me grab this in the book of James, as a matter of fact. James talks about this a little bit. James chapter, it might be 2. James chapter 2, verse 13. For he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. So he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy, and that's Esau. You know, it's not really about Pete. And then they're on the plane, they're asking the duck, they're like, excuse me, duck, do you think what Pete did was wrong? Well, Pete told me it was all right, you know? I don't think that's a good thing. I think it was okay. And then Pete is telling you somebody else, he's pointing the finger at the general or whatever. The general gonna be pointing his finger at some command down on the ground. When he's just doing, the orders come from above. All right? The orders come from above, man. So no accountability here in Babylon. And don't worry, because there's gonna be, the same thing's gonna happen to us. Well, not us, him, Esau. Because I ain't going to war with you for you, Esau. Isaiah chapter 13, in verse number 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So that's the Medes, that's the Russians. They're not going to regard silver or gold, okay? They're not going to want to sit down at the table like he does with the other European nations and come up with, hey, listen, we'll help, you know, we'll stop putting sanctions on your country so you can. He's not going to give a fuck about that anymore, man. Okay, the Lord's stirring up the Medes of the modern day Russians. Okay, he's stirring up the minds of these kings, man. Let's grab that in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21. Proverbs chapter 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Okay, so he turneth the king's heart whithersoever he will. Okay, so it's like he has the king's heart in his hand and he's telling him to do what he wants him to do. All right? So the Lord's in control of these kings. Let's jump to the book of Ezekiel chapter 38 in verse number Ezekiel chapter 38 in verse number I'll start at 10. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall these things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. So this is talking about Gog and Magog. Gog, the prince of Rosh, okay? The prince of Rosh. Who could be the prince of Rosh in this time? Maybe Mr. Putin? It could be him, man. I think it's him. Why? Because his demeanor, his countenance, he looks like he'll bomb a place and not give a fuck about it, man. Well, like we read in Isaiah the 13th chapter, you see what he's doing in Ukraine? He's blowing up buildings. Just imagine your city and then an airstrike come and blow up this building over here on the corner. That's what Vladimir's Putin doing to the Ukrainians. Okay, so he's already the hook has already been brought into his jaw. So he's already in the spirit of destruction, destroying. All right? This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. What's up?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing? I'm doing great. How you doing?
Yeah, I already see you.
Who are you, brother? You smoking?
My name's Raymond.
Okay. Raymond, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Talk to me.
Man, I'm way over here.
Have you been drinking today? Because I can't talk to you, brother. Not when you're drinking, man. Come talk to me when you're not drinking. We'll have a full conversation. All right?
All right.
Thank you, brother. Hey, have a wonderful day, though.
And I stopped drinking.
Hey, that's a beautiful
You'll
spirit,
say
brother.
almost 3 months, man, so I already know.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. I would talk, but sometimes I be out here, I be talking to people, and then the conversation go all the way
Yeah,
over.
you already know. Especially when you're not really in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But when you see me on a sober night, come talk to me, bro, okay?
All right, my man.
All right, my man. You too. All right. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. The land of unwalled villages is here in America. All right. It's unwalled. There's actually a fence, actually. He's attempting to make it walled. But the reason why it was unwalled for a long time with the duck, that's how you know he's fully, he's always trying to go up against the scriptures. What are you saying? Turn your volume up. Yo, yo, hi, hi. Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 38 and 11. So the land of unwalled villages, man. That's talking about here in America. You go in the book of Joel, I believe the 2nd chapter, it talks about how the missiles are going to climb over the walls, man. And he likens those missiles as to like as to a people. Just like this place allows immigrants to come in here by the boatloads, that's how the thermonuclear missiles are going to come over here, by the boatloads, okay? Over 200 million missiles, warheads hitting this place. That's prophesied in the Bible, man. 200 million missiles hitting this place. Good luck with that. Let's see if the so-called white man, Jesus Christ, get you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out of that lake of fire. This is the book of Ezekiel 38 and 11 in the middle. I will go to them that are at rest. Yeah, you at rest. Okay? Micah 2 and 10 tells you to arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. You're at rest because this is your rest, man. This is your rest, man. You 2/3, this is your rest. You know, you comfortable here. You know, you sit back, you get up in the morning, you drink your Kool-Aid, you drink your Capri Sun, and you're good here, okay? We're not good here because we understand this is not our rest. Let me grab this in the book of Micah. It's not our rest, man. We came here on slave ships. My people came here on slave ships in 1619. All right? So we ain't been at rest, but now y'all been comfortable here. 400 plus years, now you're comfortable. You think you're safe. You think Esau's gonna protect you from all the boogeymans that are out there, but he's not, okay? He's not. You're gonna die, man. All right? You're gonna die trusting in a false God, a false understanding of what's really going on in this Bible, man. And guess what? Ain't no one gonna tell you that. Ain't no one gonna tell you it, man. Fucking Muhammad wanted to talk, but it's not good to talk to people that are drunk, man. There's a lot of alcohol puts spirits on people. So if you can avoid talking to them, it's in your best interest not to talk to them. Okay? I forgot where I was going. Ezekiel 38. I'm going to Micah. I was going to Micah. Where is it? Micah. It's the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. So this place, America, will pollute you, man, with the sword destruction. And that's why a lot of y'all are polluted in your minds and thinking that this place is gonna last forever, and that's why you're at rest. Because the spirit isn't really dealing with you to want to depart mentally, physically. I mean, spiritually. It's going to manifest to be physically. All right? We're going to physically have to move around. But at the same time, we're going to have the mindset that the Lord's going to deliver us out of this time, man, out of the tribulation. You know, so our faith in the Lord is that's gonna be our compass. Okay, that's gonna be our fuel. He's gonna be guiding us to where we need to go. Okay? Ezekiel chapter 38. So yeah, y'all are at rest. That dwell safely. You dwell safely over here. It's a false sense of security here. Okay? That's why the Lord's gonna put the evil thought into the king of Rosh, the prince of Rosh, to come up against this place. All right? All of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. And that also includes Russia. I mean, Israel. Israel going to get bombed to smithereens too. The land of Israel that you see with all the Palestinians fighting back and forth, all of that's going to get laid out, demolished. Okay? The Lord got a demolition plan for Babylon and Israel together. Okay, let me grab this in the book of Jeremiah. Demo plan for them. Why? Because they're wicked as hell. It tells you in the book of Isaiah, you got one, it's the Heavenly Father's land. You got one nation claiming, worshiping a whole other God over there. Idolatry is what it's called. You know what the sin of idolatry is? It's death. It's death, man. Death. Isaiah 29. What verse? Isaiah, is it 29? It might be 26. Isaiah, where is it? Where is it? Before I lose it, Isaiah 26. Yeah, Isaiah 26 in verse 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. That's right, he will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Okay? He'll never understand, he'll never come to the full manifestation of what the Lord got for the nation of Israel. Okay? He can't come into this thing of ours. Even though favor is being shown to the wicked. Who's the wicked? Malachi 1 and 4. Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the father of the Edomites. Okay? He let favor be shown to the wicked. He allowed you to go there in 14, 15, 1948. 1948, that's favor being shown to you. He let you go in there, occupy the land, and what are you doing over there? Sodomite parades, all types of wicked and abominations. People should be coming to you according to Isaiah the 2nd chapter, trying to learn from you, man. But nobody wants to go learn from this damn devil. You want to learn how to bite off a foreskin off a little child's penis? Hell no. So in the land of uprightness, he's not, yet will he not learn righteousness. So he in the land, but he'll never learn righteousness. That's why he be bringing out the Talmud all the damn time, the Babylonian Talmud that justifies his wickedness, man. He try to match it up with the scripture. See, we can do this. The Lord is with us when we do this shit. And he's gonna find out that's not the case. You look at the Roman Catholic Church, they got little boys and girls and with wings on their back, half naked with the Lord. That's profanity. That's blasphemy. They're gonna be destroyed. Psalm chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, the heavenly Father Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth. You claim to be the nation of Israel. That's you taking the covenant in thy mouth. You're telling me a bunch of small hats who are not supposed to have their head covered at the bottom of Mount Sinai wearing all black? And Moses was coming to talk to them? No. These are actually the ones we went to war with when we came out of Egypt. All right? That's Amalekites for you. If only King Saul kept the commandments, man. And that's why when you don't keep the law, which is the commandment of the Lord, when the Lord commandment is not being executed, you gotta pay for it, man. But if you kept the law, we wouldn't be in the position that we're in. That's why it would be better for us to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. It would have been in our benefit. If Saul kept the law, it would have been in our benefit. Okay, but we understand that all these things had to come to pass in order to refine us. Psalms 50, verse 17. Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. Yeah, he hates instruction. That's Esau. He hates instruction. He casteth his words behind thee. What the hell am I going to do with this? Why would I do that? Why would I have equal, all of this, paying you at the end of the day? Why would I keep the land Sabbath when I can make genetically modified foods and give all of y'all cancer and then I can reap on the back end of it too? Why not? Why would I treat the animals correctly when I can just set up McDonald's all over the place and keep giving y'all fake meat? And then you die and then you gotta come to me and I can get the snipping away at your prostate. lot of young people having prostate cancer because of this damn devil, man. And a lot of y'all don't know how to cry about this shit. And there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is complain to the one who actually made this devil rule over you. Okay? And tell him and plead with him to destroy him. He need to be destroyed. He's the cancer of the whole damn earth. And he got all the, and this is how we know his kingdom's not gonna last, man. Your kingdom is not gonna last because you don't establish the law, statutes, and commandments. Psalms 50, verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou contentest with him and has been partaker with adulterers. So you've been partaker with adulterers. All right? Committing wickedness, idolatry. That's what you've been doing, Esau. And you're being exposed for those things. Okay? Psalms chapter 50 and verse number 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. That's like what I was saying when he was on the airplane. They're asking the duck, what you think about this, that, and the third. And the funny part is, he's all the way up in the sky, man. He's always in the sky, man. It's like they gotta go up thousands of miles to go talk to this nigga, man. He's way up there, flying all over the world, man. He really thinks he's the most high, man. You would think, well, blah, blah, blah. Get the hell out of here, man. How you doing today, sir? Hey, you have a blessed day, brother. You have a blessed day. He's way up in the sky. You gotta get on the plane to go talk to the duck. Just like his first term. He was always on the golf course. He didn't want to come in after a damn so-called black man, supposedly. Now look at him now. He ain't on Mar-a-Lago anymore. He's up in the G7. Come meet me up there, man. 4,000 feet up in the sky. Let me grab this in the book of Isaiah. Oh, I forgot to grab Jeremiah. I'll grab that after this, as a matter of fact. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. You sittest and speakest against thy brother. Who's Esau's brother? Who's Esau's brother? Let's find out. Let's go to the book of Genesis. Some people don't know who Esau's brother is. You don't know who Esau is, so you damn sure don't know who his brother is. So maybe let's find out who Esau's brother is, and then maybe that can determine who Esau is. Maybe that'll happen. Genesis chapter 25. In verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, two nations people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So we know Esau is the first. And after that came his brother out, and his head took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So now we know who Esau's brother is Jacob. If you can figure out who Jacob is in the Bible, hey man, you might be all right. If you can figure out who Jacob is in the Bible, you might be all right, man. You might, if you can figure that out, then you can figure out who Esau is, and then you can start right there, man. Ultimately, start off with the name of the Lord, because that's probably more important than who Jacob is, man. If the Lord can reveal his name unto you, then hey, maybe he might deal with you a little bit. Psalms 50, verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. So we're gonna set them in order before thine eyes. Let's talk about the Israelites, okay? The elected Israel. We're being set in order before our enemy's eyes. He thought that he would be able to keep this information away from us for so long. And look at us, we got the truth, man. We figured it out. You think we're just blacks, Latinos, Native Americans? You're out of your damn mind, man. You're out of your damn mind. if you trust this devil. If you believe that, then you trust this devil. And that's why you go to the harlot house, because you wanted to remain like that. That's the only way this devil can rule, is by you not knowing who you are. He got to rule within lies and shit like that. When you're dealing with Edomites, you got to understand they have to lie. They have to create this false reality in order for them to live in it. They're really not even supposed to be here, man. It's a false reality. And all they do is propagate witchcraft, deceit, evils in the earth. It was multiplied because after the death of Alexander the Greek. So that just shows you who the wicked is, man. That's why they don't read the Apocrypha in the church. Even though the Catholics got it in their Bible, but I doubt they're reading the Apocrypha in there, man. I doubt they're reading that. As wicked as hell as that. And what the hell is the Pope doing? The Pope, they asked him to go to he went somewhere in in a mosque, they asked him to pray with them. Pope Leo, man, don't pray with those heathen, man. The Pope's an Israelite. I think he's from the tribe of Levi, man. So we got a black Pope in this time. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, man. He said, I ain't praying with you, heathen. As wicked as he is, he won't even pray with the damn heathen. That's how you know Jake there's only so much, man, you can do. But I'm still waiting for him to actually bring out a Bible verse. He brought out one, I think it was in the book of Psalms, when he said the Lord has, what verse did he use? Not that I watch him, he probably bring out, every time I see him, I just never see him bring out any Bible verses. He always be condemning the government though. And he does be talking about that it ain't getting safe for in this place. I think he went to Erdogan. He went to Turkey, Istanbul. And he went and did something there. Then he went to a couple of other nations. But, you know, he ain't really teaching the truth. The Lord will stop wars in the book of Psalms. Let's see if I can find it. Is it Psalm 46 and 9? I think this is what he brought out. Psalm 46 and 9. Let me grab that real quick. Psalms 46 and 9. He said, he maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. And that's true, man. He's gonna make the war to cease when he sends his son, though. Okay, that should be the main talking point when you bring out scriptures like that. It's talking about how these wars are gonna stop. The wars are gonna stop when the nation of Israel is in power, number one. But before they come into power, that World War III is gonna happen, and Yahweh Shah is gonna come. He's gonna destroy all these heathen nations, take away all their power and authority, and then New Jerusalem coming down as a bride adorned for his husband. He's gonna come down and clean this whole place up. We're gonna gather them up and then put them into slavery. All right. And then after that, we can start talking about Isaiah the 2nd chapter. Then after that, we can start talking about Ezekiel the 39th chapter, where they're gonna burn the guns. They're gonna burn. There ain't gonna be no weapons. You should turn your swords into pruning hooks. Your swords is going into your military capability. You're gonna turn that back to agriculture and things like that. Okay, we're gonna be building this place up. Esau's building it to be destroyed. We're gonna be building it so it can last. Okay? So that's what he said. Psalms 50 in verse number 22. Now consider this, ye that forget the heavenly Father, lest I tear you in pieces and there be none to deliver. And that's what we was talking about in Isaiah the 13th chapter. The Lord's gonna tear your ass into pieces. Okay, but he's gonna use the Medes to do that, which are the modern day Russians. They're gonna dash your kids to pieces. It's the book of Psalms chapter 50, verse 23. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of God. That's right. So him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of God. So your conversation goes into your conduct, your behavior. You need to order that right, man. When you get that in order by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, once you do that, then the Lord will show you his salvation. And that's what we hope in these last days. All right? As a matter of fact, Let's go over here into the Apocrypha. What time is it? Damn, it's 30. It's 30. 30 minutes. What I want to go? I want to go to the book of Ecclesiasticus 21. Ecclesiasticus 21. It's the book of Sirach 21 and 19. Doctrine unto fools is as fetters on the feet and like manacles on the right hand. So doctrines unto fools is like fetters on the feet and like manacles upon your right hand. So fetters are shackles. Manacles are handcuffs. So doctrine, which is the truth, the teachings, the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is like shackles and handcuffs to a fool. So he don't want to operate under the vibration of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, just like Esau. Okay, this is why he casts his words behind him, because the doctrine is like fetters to him. When you're telling the wicked to be righteous, that's like putting them in the prison. Okay, and just like us, we feel like we're in a prison because this is a wicked society. Only the wicked prosper in a world that's built on wickedness, man. The righteous, they don't prosper in a world like this, unless the Lord wants them to. He tells you in the book of 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter. He also tells you in the book of Tobit, the 13th chapter. I was actually reading that, and I was like, look at Tobit prophesied, man. I asked Google, is Tobit a prophet? They said no. And then when you read, let me read it. I'm all over the place, but yeah, the doctrine for Esau, it's grievous. It's grievous to the wicked, man, because you're telling me Esau can't steal, he can't rob, he can't do all these things, he can't commit war. That's oppressive to him. He can't oppress Israel. That's oppressive to him, man. These laws, statutes, and commandments, he gotta keep the Sabbath day holy. He gotta respect the land Sabbaths. You know, he likes to make money on that day. That's why he says even his own Sabbath that he created, the Sunday, that fake ass Sabbath. Sometimes the Sabbath does fall. It goes by the moon, of course. But even his own Sabbath on Sunday, he violates his own Sabbath. He'll pay you extra if you go to work that day. So he entices you to even break your day of rest. Okay? So this devil is just fully adverse to his own laws, but most and foremost, the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 13, verse 1. When Tobit wrote a prayer of rejoicing and said, blessed be God that liveth forever, and blessed be his kingdom, for he doth scourge and have mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand. That's right. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand. He bringeth down to hell and bringeth up again. We're in hell. This is affliction. When you can't pay your bills, when he's making wars with all these other countries, and he's ramping it up, saying we got to turn it up even more. That's hell, man. That's hell. Okay? When people don't know if they should go to school or not, your kid's safety is compromised. Here in Boston, they got people walking by car washes and calling ICE on them. This nigga's all the way from London. He's coming over here and he's calling the police on somebody washing somebody's wheels. Edomite. But don't worry, because that's the time that we're in. And his ass is going into slavery anyway. He's going to pay for that. We're going to make sure we thoroughly purge his wickedness when we get in the kingdom. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 13, and verse 2. For he doth scourge and have mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. Okay, he leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. This is hell, man. The nation of Israel was the top nation on the whole earth for 40 years plus. And now look at them. They're in the valley of death. Okay, the majority of them, they don't know who they are, man. They were exalted, now they're debased. Esau was debased, now he's exalted in this time. Okay? And that matches up with 1 Samuel, the second chapter with Hannah's prayer. So Tobit and Hannah is pretty much saying the same prayer, or he's quoting Hannah's prayer. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. Yeah, confess him to the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. Okay, so the Israelites are going to be confessing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to the Gentiles, which are you heathen nations. That's why you don't see the heathen out here talking about our Lord. The heathen don't have the spirit. Okay? They got their own gods they worship. Rats and bats and shit like that, man. Stupid shit. Because they're stupid. Okay? And that's why they created, they're not going to know, just like Rahab. She knew through the judgment of the Lord, that's what made her convert. And you heathen too. You're going to convert, and you see everyone's going to be converted when the Lord cracks the skies and he's putting everyone to death. Then you're going to be converted. Just like Rahab was. Just like Achor was. Achior, I think his name was. When Judah brought the head of Holofernes to the nation of Israel. Yeah, he got converted. That was judgment. He was scared of the dude. And here it is, a woman's holding his head. Because the Lord did that. So he's going to bring forth another judgment like that here in Babylon. He's going to take out the head heathen, which is Esau, Edom. All right? If you don't know who that is, you need to find out who Jacob is first. And then you know, through process of elimination, you can figure it out. According to Job 9 and 24, he said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who has the power to write these laws and oppress the people? Okay, who has the power to do that? Who has the military capability to oppress the world? You got to figure that out for yourself. Tobit chapter 13 and verse 4. It says, there declare his greatness and extol him before all the living, for he is our Lord, and he is the God of our Father forever. And who's the Father? You know, he's talking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Ultimately Abraham. Okay? He's the God of our fathers. It says Father. So I'm assuming he's talking about Abraham. Because that's who the promise was made with. And it was passed down through the lineage through his sons. And it still belongs to the nation of Israel. So that promise that the Lord made with them applies to the Israelites today. All right? It's the book of Tobit chapter 13 and verse 5. And he will scourge us for our iniquities. Scourging us for our iniquities. He's going to hurt us. He'll punish us for our iniquities. What's iniquity? Iniquity is sin. Okay, what is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law according to 1 John 3 and 4. Who was the law given to? The Israelites on Mount Sinai through Moses after the Exodus to Egypt. Okay? It tells you in the book of Psalms, he haven't dealt so with any other nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. These heathen, they have not known the judgments of the Lord. What the Israelites do. Because they transgress the laws. Okay? It's the book of Tobit, chapter 13 and 6. 5. It will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations, among whom he has scattered us. Yeah, he's going to gather us out of all nations, in whom he has scattered us. Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. He scattered us throughout the whole damn world. Okay? You damn African Americans came here in 1619, and you're still here. You're still here, man. You gotta go back to your home, man. All right? This is not your damn rest. Get your lazy ass up and come out here and prophesy the downfall of this nigga, man. Get your asses up, man. The book of Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 6. If you turn to him with your whole heart and with your whole mind, and deal uprightly before him, then will he turn unto you and will not hide his face from you. Therefore see what he will do with you and confess him with your whole mouth, and praise the Lord of might, and extol the everlasting King. In the land of my captivity do I praise him, and declare his might and majesty to a sinful nation. O ye sinners, turn and do justice before him. Who can tell if he will accept you and have mercy on you? That's right. In the land of your captivity. All right? Who's in captivity to this day? Who's in captivity still to this day? Okay, the Israelites are. Okay? Who are you preaching for? I'm preaching for Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Do you love Jesus? I do. But his name's not Jesus, his name is Yahweh Shai. Okay? So it's a yay and a nay. You got the name wrong, but I understand. Most of the world, they don't know the name of the Lord. All right? But who you ignorantly call Jesus, yes, we love. Okay? We do love him. And how do we show that we love him? Let me grab it. This is the book of John, chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commandments. And we're going to keep the commandments because we love him. Okay? We're going to keep the commandments because we love him. The question is, do you love him? All right? That's the question. Let me go over here to the book. I think it's Matthew. I gotta put my hand back in my glove. Gotta put my hand in my glove. I forgot where it is. Let me grab it out of my phone. Yeah. Oh, it's John. John. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 21. Let's go there. Because he asked me, do you love me? Yeah, do you love Yahweh Shai? I do. I do. I do love Yahweh Shai. John 21. And then, the way you show you love the Lord is you got to keep his commandments. Like he says in John 14 and 15. So that's how I know, because I keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of my ability. That's how I know I love the Lord. All right? This is the book of John, chapter 21, in verse 15. So when they had dined, Yahweh Shai said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my lambs. Okay, so he said, yeah, thou knowest that I love me. Feed my lambs. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my sheep. Okay, so you got to feed my sheep. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest that I love thee. Yahweh Shai saith unto him, feed my sheep. Okay, so feed my sheep. So this is I actually, you know, if you understood, that's talking to the house of David, man. Okay, they're gonna be feeding the sheep. John 2, verse 24, but Yahweh Shai did not commit himself unto them because he knew all men and needed not that any should testify of man, for he knew what was in man, and that's evil. Okay? It's evil. wickedness. And that's what prevents you from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Okay? That's the problem right there. The book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 10. It says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured, nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power." That's what we're going to be called, man, the sons of the living power. Okay? And we're already starting to see that manifest in the church. Nobody else is standing up boldly for Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai other than Israel. Okay? That's the only ones who are doing it. The rest of you heathen nations, you believe in the rest of what the rest of the world believes. In heathen nations, in a heathenistic doctrine. Okay? You're not the Lord's sheep. That's why you don't subscribe to the doctrine. Right? I'm thinking about I was just about to grab precept, don't know where. But it is what it is. We keep it moving. Just forgot it. Let's go to the book of Baruch. Baruch chapter 2, verse 27. It says, Baruch chapter 2, verse 27. It says, O Lord, our God, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness and according to all the great mercy of thine, as thou spakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, If ye will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. Okay? And we've been turned into a small number among the nations where he has scattered us. Okay? Because of our disobedience. What Baruch is referring to is Deuteronomy 28, the whole chapter. Okay? The first 15, 14 verses goes into the blessing that we somewhat already experienced in the past, according to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, where we experienced the blessing and the curse. Because we, under King Solomon and King David, we were whipping our enemies' asses. King David, first and foremost, we had you heathen running, jumping the gate, okay? We were running after you with swords, with shields, with buckler. We was putting arrows in your back. And then we put garrisons in our top heathen nation, Esau, Edom's land. But then he broke the yoke, like it was prophesied to happen in Genesis, the 27th chapter. So we ruled over Esau already. We already ruled over this nigga. And we're gonna rule over him again. Right? But according to Deuteronomy 30:7, then we went off. King Solomon, first and foremost, but as the ruler of the people is, the ruler is the people are. So, just like with Adam, you would think Adam went off, but it tells you, same thing applies to them. He was going off, all of y'all were going off. Right? You all were going and sleeping with the daughters of men. Okay? So you polluted that holy seed all the way up to the point to King Solomon, and he started going off even more, and we fell even further down to this state that we're in, where we don't even know who the hell we are anymore, according to Jeremiah 17:04. But this was prophesied a long time ago, and this was written for our learning. Now, the reverse is happening. Now we're standing upon our feet. Now we're headed to everlasting now. We're headed back to the original, our former state. But this is going to be more glorious than ever before. Baruch, chapter 3, chapter 2 again, Salakia, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. This is the land of our captivity. This is us remembering ourselves. Okay? This is us stirring up the pure minds of the elect. Okay, like the Lord wants us to do. The heathen's not doing that. They're not worried about the elect. They're worried about their fake prosperity doctrine that's not going to last. You're not going to prosper. You're going to be destroyed. And they don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you that because they want you to continue to go to their harlot houses and keep offering them cash. You know, that's how they survive. It's a business. All right? By keeping you asleep, they get tax benefits from you. And guess who's trying to tap into that? You other Israelite camps. You trying to tap into... Y'all should just become Christian pastors, man. You don't need to become a pastor with an Israelite twist, man. Just go into Christianity. Go be a demon. Go teach to these demons, man. You don't have to act like you're Israel. Stop cosplaying, man. You really a heathen. Okay? You really a heathen. Go preach to the heathen. Tell the heathen how you love them so much. The heathen don't know God, man. They don't care about God. They don't care about keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, and none of that. Israel, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. The heathen don't care about that. They're happy and content the way things are today. Okay? Israel's going through the curses. So you're telling me these people don't need to go through the curses? They can just get blessed? But Israel got to go through the curses. For what? What's the point of worshiping Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai if you ain't going through anything? Why is the Lord hiding his face from them? Why isn't he revealing himself to them? Why aren't they out here on the highways and hedges like the rest of the Israelites? The rest of Israel, man. They're not here to do that, man. They're here to be natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed. That's all they are. They're nothing, man. They're like beasts. Just like the scriptures say. You don't have this understanding, you're like unto a beast. Simple as that. Book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 31. And it's like it. In verse 31, it shall know that I am the Lord their God, and will give them a heart and ears to hear. And he gave us a heart and ears to hear. That's how we were able to receive him again. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. And we're thinking upon the name of the Lord. And we're praising him in the land of our captivity. The heathen don't feel captive to this place. They feel free when they come here. Because this is their world. They're part of the world. And that's why they're going to be punished in the kingdom until they get right into following our law, statutes, and commandments. That's what Esau did to their ass. That's why they got corrected. And they're going to get corrected again. They got their asses whipped, but then they get to have a little bit of authority on this side. But now they're going to get their asses whipped, and they're going to have no authority on this side, on our side. All right? They're going to be servants of Yasharallah. Simple as that. They're servants now to the Edomites. That's all they are, servants. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 33. In return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. That's right, they're going to remember the way of their fathers. We're asking for the old paths. We're going, which is the good way, and walk therein. We found it. We're on that path now. That's why we're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Okay? We're practicing the righteous acts in the places of drawing water. Judges 5 and 11. We're doing what the scriptures say. That's the old path, man. All right? The heathen are not. The heathen are not doing that. All right? Now I remember what scripture I wanted. Baruch chapter 2, verse 34, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. So he's telling you who his people are. They're the Israelites. Okay? And he said he'll no more drive away his people out of the land which he had driven them. It's very simple. Very simple, man. So you heathen nations are not in captivity. You're not being afflicted enough. He's not, tells you in the book of Hebrews, the 12th chapter, he chastises them like sons. You ain't being chastised like a son, because you're not the son of God, man. All right? You're nothing. The Lord said you're nothing, man. You're nothing. All right? Nothing. That one, I'm not gonna look it up on my phone. Ooh. I have to go in the phone real quick. Oh, God. I found it. I'm probably gonna end it on this though. I can't feel my face, man. It's starting to get brick out here. It's starting to get really brick out. Really brick out here. 2nd Ezra chapter 3. And 2nd Ezra chapter 3. I'll start at 29. And when I came thither and had seen impieties without number, then my soul saw many evildoers in this 30th year, so that my heart failed me. For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people, and has preserved thine enemies, and has not signified it. Yeah, so the Lord, he's been destroying his people, which are the Israelites. And he's been preserved thine enemies. Okay, like Esau and the rest of these heathen nations, he's preserved them. Okay? I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? Yeah, are they of Babylon better than they of Zion? Of course not. Of Or is there any other people that knoweth thee beside Israel? Or what generation have so believed thy covenants as Jacob? Yeah, who else has believed thy covenants as Jacob? Man, nobody. Okay? Nobody. No other nation. And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth and think not upon thy commandments. Yeah, they flow in wealth and they think not upon thy commandments. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Yeah, you're only going to hear about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in Israel. You're going to hear it in your churches and shit. That's where the heathen go. Okay, in the 2/3. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. Okay? Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. And I'm going to end it there. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rechak Wadash. Shalom, Abad Babal, and Kwam Yasharallah.